Yeah, so mostly just like candid information. Have you met Ojas? Ojas la भेटेछ नि?
Yeah. Met him a few times. Yes, I know him well. Yeah, big. There is a future of lifting, right?
Uh,
Debatable, is it?
फ्युचर त अब हामी सबैजनै फ्युचर हो अरे तर
No, I mean he's a generation after you, right? Or you guys the same sort of a category?
हामी होइन सेमै हो कति वर्ष 3 वर्ष फरक हो इज इट अ न्यू
Oh,
जेनेरेसन अर सेमै होला
right. Okay. So
बट
he's
देन
totally dedicated, devoted to powerlifting now.
के हो जस भन तिम्रो के भयो
Or he's still deciding. Oh, it takes you a minute to think, then you're so not so much into it.
सो उसको आई थिङ्क बोथ पावर लिफ्टिङ बडी बिल्डिङ अब फिजिकली गिफ्टेड छ बडी बिल्डिङमा पनि स्ट्रेङ्थ पनि छ सो यु क्यान डिसाइड वाट एभर
Right. Hey, yeah, we need to have all our conversation in English is okay, or we mix it up.
वाट एभर युआर कम्फर्टेबल इज फाइन इङ्ग्लिस नेपाली नट अ प्रब्लम बिकज मोस्ट अफ आवर भ्युवर्स आर नेपाली अनि नेपालीहरूले इङ्ग्लिस त सुडन्ट बी अ प्रब्लम
Right. That's cool. That's cool.
या
So
तपाईँको
it's just three of us, or
Yeah, just the three of us. It'll be mostly you and me, and Ojas will be asking a few questions here and there. But usko internet seems to be not working.
how is your competition thing coming up? Anything new happening?
त्यस्तो competition अब it's been so long that I haven't competed. अब I don't know because travel पनि restricted छ still. It's not as convenient. अनि yeah, it's not as convenient. So I don't know. I haven't planned anything, but just.
Travel as in because the only place you would really compete it is in Thailand.
Yeah, so I was thinking I'll change my nation now that my studies and everything's over at Thailand. So I'll probably do Hong Kong now because it's easier for me through Hong Kong. Yeah.
But how do you get in? How would you be allowed to get in? There is some sort of, is it like an open from any country, or
No.
do you do some sort of a thing over there?
So generally, एकछिन है, what just said. So generally, you either have to be a permanent resident, like nagarikta sort of thing, ID card. So मेरो चाहिँ I have the Hong Kong ID. So my grandparents
that's
were
no
from
problem.
उता.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Right.
Yeah. अनि त्यसपछि
And how is the lifting standard over there
it's not that good. So I should be.
as compared to Thailand?
No, Thailand is better than Hong Kong. I think so.
Well,
है.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing for you if it's not good, right?
Yes, but Hong Kongमा चाहिँ एक दुईजना चाहिँ छ like एकदमै high level lifters, but Thailand चाहिँ across board they're pretty good.
Right. So in Thailand, is it mostly outsiders or just people from Thailand?
So it's mostly like Thailand. They have a lot of expats. So a lot of
Yeah.
expats because if you have like a visa longer than 18 months, you can compete there. So yeah, so before I had that visa, so I was able to compete, but मैले छोड्दै भनौँ न because of obvious reasons. So I
Right,
didn't continue with the course and everything. So त्यो भएर चाहिँ अब अलिकति फेरि अब हङकङ रुट नै might as well do that because नेपालमा रुट नै छैन to go international competitions होइन.
Exactly. I mean, Hong Kong, that would be a larger platform. But that won't combine with China at all, right? It's just Hong Kong.
Yeah, so far no China, but maybe अब the world like के गरेर छ नि China, Hong Kong, all those things. So भन्नै सक्दैन.
So it's a huge, massive platform, you know.
Yeah.
Hong Kong is a big city. It's a massive city.
Yeah, they've got really good strongmen and they've got bodybuilders, but powerlifting IPF like the tested side of things say is त्यस्तो कम्पिटेटिभ भइसकेको छैन. इट्स प्रब्ली बिकज लाइक उनीहरूको फेडरेसन पनि त्यस्तो स्ट्रिक्ट छैन क्या. लाइक ब्याङ्ककमा इट्स पर्फेक्ट क्या. लाइक उनीहरू देयर लाइक यङ गाइज अनि दे आर भेरी मोटिभेटेड टु ग्रो द स्पोर्ट. सो द स्पोर्ट इज ग्रोइङ सो ऱ्यापिडली. लाइक एभ्री वेट क्याटेगोरीमा देयर आर पोटेन्सियल एसियन च्याम्पियन्स इन थाइल्यान्ड नाउ. So they're getting very very strong, very fast. Like every competition there's a new champion. So it's getting.
You know, how about going Europe? I mean, you just need like a whole set of paperwork for it, or
for Europe.
Europe or America, you know, I mean, that is where basically, you know, it all is, right?
Yeah. So I think Europe or झनै गाह्रो हुन्छ because I have to have my base in Kathmandu. So it should be some Asian country. So India standards पनि pretty good now. But like I don't know much, but I heard lots of politics going around, and it's all scattered all over the place. Any outsider, like they might not be as friendly. Like whereas in Hong Kong or Bangkok, they don't really care. They don't really care, right?
They don't really care. They
Yeah.
don't really care about the sports. It's all about just, money and, the people they want to win, that sort of a thing. So,
Yeah. So India ma
very
चाहिँ
political in there. It is very political in there.
yeah. So Mohit Dai is in India. So
Right.
he plans on going because he's working there. So he plans on going through India. So if he does well and stuff, then maybe we could change our nation as well. Ojas mo sabaiजना.
They do have a lot of people in Calcutta, I think, who are into IPF, and sports
Yeah.
is quite popular in Calcutta, I think.
Yeah, Calcutta. I follow a few guys there from Mumbai,
Right.
and then they have like a similar what do you say, like Amro, yeah, near what we have at Ox Strength. They have like a similar group of guys there, and one guy is like really strong, like crazy strong. He's in the 120 kg category, big guy.
Right.
And then
Right.
like they have like a huge community going on and everything. So I think those are the guys that I've seen. But yeah, India पनि धेरै राम्रो छ. Like I would say they're a little bit ahead of us.
And how is Amro यहाँ के भइरहेको छ? Any competitions in the pipeline, or it's
खै
pretty much come to a dead stop?
खै अस्ति नै, but I think you should know better because you're
I just get told. I mean, I cannot manage much time to interfere much in it
Yeah.
and find out what happens. But I just get a call or maybe a message 15-20 days prior to it. Hey, yo bhaiरहेछ, please तपाईँ यसमा यो गरिदिनु. I said, okay, that's about it.
ज्याक दाइ फेरि सबै कम्पिटिसनमै जज.
Yeah. Even though I'm in the committee, I think I'm in the committee, but I've never been able to attend any meeting,
Yeah.
which is a downside. But yeah, I mean, the one they were planning to have got postponed. I don't know what is the new tentative dates for those, but I think that is still bound to happen, will happen. I think there was Roop Karkiji one, wasn't it?
Yeah, so पहिला नेसन वाइड भएको थियो रूप कार्की दाइको. अब आई डोन्ट नो के भइरहेछ, बट हामीलाई त लाइक वेयर इन टर्म्स अफ द्याट फेडरेसन वेयर अ कम्प्लिट आउटसाइडर. सो when they post it on social media, that's when we find out. I think as long as they have competitions, it's good for us and the industry also.
Yeah, pretty much everyone. I mean, especially starting from the times when it all started. Now there's powerlifting is such a popular sport in Nepal now.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to get really
Yeah.
big. that sort of a
Yeah,
thing.
so I think we can start on this tangent, like how powerlifting, like सुरुमा त I don't even knew I was strong. I know मलाई थाहा पनि थिएन I was strong. So I basically I just went to pump, and then I competed, and then I won.
Yeah.
होइन अनि त्यो भयो. अनि त्यसपछि what happened was, and then you messaged me on Instagram. I remember that. Hey, do you remember those days?
I remember. Yeah. No, but did I message you before the competition?
No. So there was like a small, what do you say? A small competition at Pump. So it was basically like a dinner where you would eat and have fun. But they also put a little powerlifting competition. So I competed and I had posted a video online, and then you probably saw it somewhere.
That was a different one prior
Yeah.
to the one. Okay, got it. Yes, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, I
So then you
remember.
messaged me, and अनि मलाई त थाहा पनि थिएन I was strong भनेर, but then you messaged me, and then I checked out your profile and it was like, holy shit, who's this guy? Nepali हो के हो, like, but you were pretty much I think around Birganj at the time, like Birganjमा तपाईँले ट्रेनिङ भिडियो हालेर हुनुहुन्थ्यो. अनि you also went to the gym that I went to, Shapes, थाहा छ?
Yes. I went there
Yeah.
for a few seconds. That's correct.
Yeah, and then I was like, shit, कस्तो बलियो मान्छे रहेछ, के हो यस्तो, all those things. And then we pretty much kicked off from there, नि.
Yeah, and it was quite unexpected how you came to that event. The powerlifting, the one in Pump.
Yeah, so त्यसपछि चाहिँ I think they did like the first pump competition. So they had a competition before that, which I just went and did whatever. अनि त्यसपछिको competitionमा चाहिँ, and then you were there as well. And then that's
Yeah.
where we met for the first time.
That's right.
And then you met Sushant Dai as well over there.
Yeah.
So at this time you had
Oh,
already been competing for a long time, or you were already sort of like a veteran lifter at the time, right? So कस्तो
that's
थियो त्यो
correct.
बेला if you remember, how was it at the time, like in terms of training?
We started off.
No, in terms of how
Oh, okay.
your training came through.
Well, it basically, so my history it started long back. It basically started from a few sports as well. You just asking me casually, or we?
Yeah, casually, yeah.
Okay.
We're rolling, but we can answer it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Anyway, so yeah, for me, it started quite some time back. Just like anyone, just as a younger bloke. Still young, but lot younger bloke, and different sports. We had to play. We had to do wrestling, the circle, kabaddi at our institution, at our gurudwara, and then the guys over there were very strong. So in order to compete with them, we had to go through this intense training. And one of the sports which would really help into that is just like, playing rugby. You've got to be really strong. You need to have all the stamina and the strength. So just like that, you need to have some sort of strength lifts in there to get yourself stronger. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the basic ones for strength training is still powerlifting,
Mm-hmm.
never get away with bench, dead, and squats. So yeah, that is how we sort of got into it. Got into a gym, started learning how to do those movements, try to perfect it as much as possible, and yeah, just upped our lifts as well. So and then there came a novice competition, competed in that, few other competition, within the gym, and then outside the gym, amongst the gym. Mind you, back in those days, it wasn't very popular itself in New Zealand too. That is where I was based, and but then the community got together. There was KPO, was one of the federations which would look after a lot of powerlifting, and yeah, just one thing after the other from there, and then the gym which I used to train at was primarily based on all strength. So we used to have powerlifting plus strongman events over there,
Yeah.
and they had all these equipments for strength training, farmers walk, all sorts of things, and yeah, we tried a bit of that as well. Just the whole community, the whole group of friends, and that is how it all started.
Yeah, so this was long time back because raw powerlifting the popular in the world name back open, it's probably been a decade or so.
Yes, that's correct. That's
Yeah,
correct.
and
Yeah.
then Nepal mata, like nobody knew what powerlifting was. I didn't know what powerlifting was until very late. But I knew powerlifting. So basically I just thought it was maxing out. So गएर and like उचाल्दिने जति सक्छ, and then
It's the same story with everyone. Same
yeah.
story with everyone.
So I thought त्यही हो powerlifting and competition को I didn't know we had to prep all those things. केही पनि नै थाहा थिएन कि मलाई. So I would
Different
just
story altogether.
yes, I was like okay-ish strong, and then गयो उचाल्दियो and whatever happened sort of a thing. And then त्यही first pump मा where we met, you also came to compete है खासमा चाहिँ.
Yeah, that's right. I was invited by Ashish Ji, just to come and have a look, and if I feel like I can compete as well. So
Yeah.
I just went in there openly just to see, you get a feel of it, see how it all goes, and then just got dragged into, or felt tempted to lift. It's a very difficult feeling for someone who's into lifting to stop him from getting into it. So as soon as you see the weights, you just want to lift him. So that is how
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I remember like you, and then they uh, made you a guest lifter बनाइदिनु भयो because like you were
Yes,
so ahead of the time at the time. Like I think I was strong, but not as half as strong as you at the time.
you've always been strong. I
So
mean, it's all according to the body weight, so I was heavier as well.
yeah, do you remember how much you weighed? Maybe around 100 at the time, right? You were really big.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, always been around, I think that time I was pretty much always been around between 97 to 100,
Yeah,
or 101 at the max. That's pretty
yeah.
much about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit. At the time, like, म त You looked really, really, really big at the time, and I was like really skinny and tall.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yes, yes.
Yes, म त probably कति थियो होला 80 at the most.
Yes, I would say so. I would say
Yeah,
so.
I
Yeah,
think I
we're
think
around.
around 80, and then but म चाहिँ I was like, at the time I was really fascinated के like how do you do things, powerlifting
Yeah.
कसरी गर्ने, and I was always like I wanted to learn more भन्नाले कसरी, because I had nobody else होइन त्यो बेला थाहा नै थिएन नि त, like I didn't know what to look into. So at the time I really looked up to you. I still look up to you as a mentor and everything in life, but त्यो बेला चाहिँ
Thank
like
you.
even more so in terms of powerlifting, yeah, because I had no idea, and then I wanted to get stronger, but I didn't know how. So I would ask you so many questions. I don't know, probably silly at
Yeah,
the
no,
time.
no, it was all correct. It was all correct.
And then that's how we kicked things off. Ani त्यसपछि I think I remember that we went to some gym to train as well, and then you had your crazy workout. So more र Pranish आएको थियो नि. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, we would go into different gyms, and do
Yeah,
crazy workouts. I think our workouts would last around what 3 to 4 hours.
yeah. And then
We would just do all complete strength training for a couple of hours, and then after that, there was a lot of conditioning and different all sorts of things. I think that just made every one of us stronger, right?
yeah,
It's not bad.
yeah. Mentally, so much so as like physically त भइहाल्यो. Mentally पनि it was really really brutal. I
Exactly.
yeah, I remember one time we got a friend as well. Ashay, do you remember him?
Oh,
Ashay.
yeah, 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 yeah.
We got him, and then he was like, physically, I don't know, but mentally, he was knocked out.
I mean,
And
that is when you realize what how much you're capable of. If you
yeah,
haven't done that, you would have still have thought, oh, let's cut short of what I'm doing at the moment. But having to go all this while and lasting it, surviving it, meant that we have that sort of a capability. So it was very good sort of a mental boost, I would say.
yes. तपाईँलाई याद छ like what type of workouts you would make us do, just for context?
Yeah, I remember all sorts of. There was a lot of farmer walks, and then farmer walks, and someone would pull you from behind, and various different variations of squats, uh, crazy exercises. It just doesn't come to the top of my head right now,
Yeah,
but I do sometimes see, on my phone. It's pretty much saved all those workouts we would do, and it really helped. It really helped. And then the thing was, after we had gone past 2 hours, you felt more pumped to do more and
yeah,
more. The
yeah,
workout never seemed to end,
yeah,
unless and until we'd say, oh, we had an appointment, this and that, or skip the appointment, let's just carry on. And I think there was a couple of instances when we even went past 5 hours, around 5 hours. So
yeah,
that was
yeah.
crazy.
I
So it
remember that.
just means that it's not just 1 hour or 2 hour, which is everyone says, oh, you get well. What do you call it? If you look at the science behind it, yes, anything over 1 or 2 hours is just too much, and you just think, it's just sort of a downhill. But then again, mentally, you think you can do it. So
Yeah,
that is more.
yeah. So त्यो बेलाको ट्रेनिङहरू चाहिँ now I don't think I can do it anymore because we're like so in the structure of things and thing. But त्यो बेलाको चाहिँ like I don't know what, I just wanted to get stronger, and I thought that was the key. Like त्यसरी नै
Yes.
train गर्नुपर्छ, or like maybe, and I'm sure it helps a lot as well. Like mentally the unbreakable हुन्छ. Like you're doing 10 sets of squats, and then you're doing bench press with like with chains and everything, followed it with push-ups, and then overhead press, arms sets for like 10 minutes straight.
I mean, I think where it all came from is basically just getting yourself stronger.
Yeah.
So if you look at powerlifting, that is typically a sport. It's like playing soccer or cricket, baseball, any other sport, where you just do those particular things and you get better at it. Whereas just overall strength in the body, every part, every move, sort of a thing, makes you feel even better, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
It's like if you can bench press a lot, you should be able to do a lot of push-ups as well, or dumbbell presses as well at the same time. So that overall sort of movement somewhere along the line helps. But if you're nearing to a competition where it's more sports specific, it's just best to stick to those percentages or whatever what you're doing at the moment. Those are the best things.
Yeah, so even at the time, I would try to learn about percentages and like tapering for a competition and uh, all those things. So I think त्यो बेला पनि I would ask you for a lot of advice like what do you think I should do? So I'm having a
Yes,
problem here, I'm having a problem there, all those things, and you would be down to help with whatever you could.
yes, yes. Always still there, for anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean that is what we've learned in powerlifting as well, because the school which I came from, not the real school, but school as in the school of gym we came from, it was you had all the hard people in there, very rough people in there, but very helpful, very down to earth. They would help you with all the question answer. They would love to see you doing well. There wasn't so much of I mean, there was a competition as to who wins, but then they always had this thing at the back of their head that we've got to support him, let him do even better, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know for what reason, but that's pretty much what I've learned, and it just makes you so much into the sports more. You
Yeah.
respect the sport, whereas whereas you are sort of fighting over this and that sort of a thing. So it's a different experience altogether.
Yeah, I think I've noticed that in powerlifting, especially overseas, is that everybody is there for everyone, sort of a thing. So, banale, like I've seen guys come to the gym, come to the competition, and they have like no idea what they're getting into. Like they registered for the meet, and then they're down. But then like there are champions there. You don't even realize that they're like such an elite level lifter there. But then they're helping small little guys to warm up, and then have them select their attempts for them, and borrowing equipment and all those things. So I think तपाईँले पनि initially, like I've seen it later, but then initially, now that I think of it, like you were sort of at that stage, and then you were helping the other kids around, giving their belt and wrist straps and wraps लगाएर helping us select attempts and all those things. So yeah, powerlifting could say that's the beauty of the sport, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. It's because the stronger you are, the more confident you are about yourself, and
Yeah.
you just want to help everyone. So you're not into that sort of a scenario where you wanting to fight with everyone. It just looks like a small picture. So, but you just look at the bigger picture, sort
Ye-
of a thing. So
Yeah. So
those
I
things
think
matter.
yeah, powerlifting मा चाहिँ but also like म त भइहाल्यो, like I think I'm the first I think after you I'm the first guy to pretty much do powerlifting in Nepalमा.
Yes, I would
Yeah.
say so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I remember,
तपाईँको
I was going to that competition in pump. It was good fun. We were
yeah,
supporting each other. I saw you all of a sudden. Now we're competing, okay. And
yeah,
then, you sort of did really well in there, first position. And then, it was a good experience altogether.
yeah. तपाईँको चाहिँ like did you compete in many meets before that? Like had you
Yes.
competed? How was it? Numbers थियो कि त्यो बेलाको, if you
Yes,
remember?
I had competed in quite a few, which was quite some time back. And yeah, started off with the novice lifting. We were just trying to get stronger at the gym. And then the gym organized something in house, so we do this for the novice lifters and, just a newbie sort of a thing. And I did really well in that. And then after that, we would compete with the other gym. Mind you, no one knew about powerlifting back then and there as well. And then just with different gyms. And then they had the so-called nationals at the same time. So competed in that, did fairly well. So yeah, it's just been quite a few competitions. Not one which I can particularly call out, but yeah, just probably five or six sort of competitions if you include the novice lifting as well, which is
Oh,
more of an house gym thing.
yeah. Do you remember your numbers from that time?
It varied. It varied. I think I did went up to for the squat. I went up to around 245, and for bench it was 150. Yeah, and for the deadlift it was around 260 sort of a thing.
Yeah. So I think त्यो बेला त these numbers would still I think win a lot of categories here. If I'm not there and if Mohit isn't there, then these numbers are this number is still like the best number that you can do in Nepal even now.
Yeah, I
And
mean, back in those days, they were the ultimate numbers. But now
yeah,
it's become
shit,
competitive. A lot of people are doing it. There is a lot of things behind it, technology behind it, ways to
shit,
do it. There is a lot of professionalism behind it, a lot of mentors behind it, techniques. So all we knew back then was, I mean, like I said, our gym was very rough, and all it said was, if you're strong, you can lift it. If you're not
yeah,
strong, you won't be able to lift it. It was that rough.
shit,
They would
yeah.
not tell you, you've got the technique wrong, right, this and that. They just say whether you're good or you're not good, whether you're good or you're sucks, sort of a thing.
Yeah,
That's
shit.
that's how it was. So it was fairly rough. So you just go in there and you just lift. It was all about
Yeah.
just it was powerlifting, but it wasn't all that
Hardcore shit.
organized. Yeah, it wasn't all that organized. Or this, you lifting from your knee break, or you got to do the hip break, or uh, these sort of tiny little elements in there. It was just about just being strong and lift. So our
Yeah.
gym, I remember, it had this sort of what do you call proverb or phrase in there.
Mm-hmm.
Big is not strong, strong is strong. So just
Oh,
shut up, and the F word, just lift heavy, sort of a thing.
oh shit.
There was all graffiti all over the place.
Data
So you
shit.
would just go in there
Yeah.
and just lift sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So
Like to think about it, to think about somebody doing numbers like this 7, 8, 9 years ago. I think at the time it was Teta. I wish I could understand at the time what it really meant, because for me at the time I thought like in a few years I'll be able to do 250 squat and whatever. But I didn't realize how hard and how difficult it is actually to achieve these numbers in real
exactly.
time. And then from what you said, I think Mopani, I really agree to the term. Now everything is modernized and evidence based and all those things. But I always tell my boys, okay, in powerlifting there's only one rule, and there's only one thing that happens. There's only one rule, and that's to be strong, right? And if you missed a lift, it's not because of anything else. It's not because of your programming incorrect or your technique and your equipment, all the things. It's simply you're not strong enough for the lift at that very
That is how it is.
yeah.
That is how it is. So that is when you think you got to go back and come back again, come out stronger. So uh,
Yeah.
core thing, you can look at 10 million forms, or this form is here, that. It would give a wee bit of a leverage, no doubt, a good
Hmm.
benefit.
Hmm.
But then again, a move like deadlift, there is only so much you can do in terms of technique. You can do few
Yeah,
things, but then
especially conventional deadlifts. It's all brute power only.
it's all power. It's all power. And so, yeah, that is how it is, with strength.
Yeah. Uh, Anyways, podcast. I forgot to get into the details of the podcast, all those things,
Right.
because we got into the conversation
Yeah, yeah, I know.
super
I know.
duper in, and then we'll start from I think a point where it starts to get a bit interesting. But anyways, guys, 30 minutes into, and then we're just introducing our guest. Obviously, अहिलेसम्म त तपाईँहरूले थाहा पाइसक्नुभयो, Mr. Jag Singh, and this is episode number 9 of the Auction podcast. And thank you guys so much for being in the podcast, and it means a lot. Malta, like I was a bit skeptical about uh, you know कसरी भनौँ दाइलाई, because we're such a small channel and it's and Dai is like really really busy. दाइले के भन्छ टाइपको, but thank you Dai for being here.
No problem. It's a total pleasure. Having a chit chat with you all the time. So, no issues with
Yeah,
that.
but also I mean like we're अहिले त like it's been such a long time. हामी त्यस्तो नि like we haven't spoken or sat down to talk about so many things. पहिला पहिला त like we would meet quite often, and now अलिकति busier साइडमै छ नि both of us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, initially when we sort of first started interacting, so it was all about powerlifting, and then you would have tons of questions. I would have tons to add to it.
Yeah.
We would do things together. But then you picked up the game very well. You got all the expertise through your research, and just becoming very global sort of a thing. So I thought, there's a time he sort of does things on his end sort of a thing. I
Yeah.
had a bit of a part where I thought, okay, I need to be there, whatever guidance, little
Yeah.
guidance I can provide. I've got to be
Yeah.
there for that. But then, once I realized that, now you're developing your own sort of a thing, we just let it flow by. And that is how it's meant to be, because I could not be equipped with 100% sort of an information for you. And I just got
Yeah.
to tell myself, hey, this is what I can offer. Well, not in that sort of way, but, this is what I can offer. And this is the sort of knowledge I have, and I'll help you with that. If you
Hmm.
need to go an extra mile sort of thing, you need to branch out a little more, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think my first coach, Amitoj, do you remember Amitoj?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The
I
one in
think,
US, right?
yeah. So I think, how did we get linked with him? Like you introduced me to him or something at the time.
Yeah, yeah. So he's been a friend, and I mean he was big in lifting back in those days. I think his passions have well sidetracked a bit, but he was big at lifting those days, and so we would me and you would talk about lifts, this and that. Okay, this is what we do. This is the thing which will get you here. But he was more equipped with the technical knowledge, as in percentage programming, and a lot of other
Yeah.
things. As I said, since you're getting into a competition, he might be able to give us an upper hand with all those sort of
Yeah.
things. And that is where I told him, hey, we've got a
Yeah.
very strong boy called Tyson, and
Yeah.
he's on fire currently. You need to, divert his, fierceness into something very productive and good. And I think
Yeah.
that is when you guys just, started talking,
Yeah.
and he had set some programs for you, and then
Yeah.
you completed as well after that. So I think which
Yeah.
went quite well.
Yeah.
So
So
I mean, there is no one information solution for everything or everyone. And you've got to pick up on all the bits and bobs, join them together, and see, what is working. So I think that's pretty much what you did as well.
yeah, with him as well, like I was able to make progress a lot. But earlier the different in the style. At the time I thought I knew a lot of things and obviously I didn't, and and once we started working with Amitoj, then a lot of things came out. I could see myself getting so much better. And then I think that was the next step up for me in terms of being an athlete. Because Suru Mata, like we talked about, it was hardcore shit only.
Yes, it's hardcore.
Whatever.
Just
Whatever.
hard lifting, so many sets, so many, movements, all sorts of things. We would
Yeah.
do a lot of main lifts, and we would do a lot of accessory movements as well.
Yeah. त्यही त त्यही त त्यो बेला अनि आफ्टर आई met him and then we would do programming and all those things and it felt really strange क्या like कसरी गर्छ like यति कम्ती गरेर नि हुन्छ sort of thing but then then it really adds up रहेछ क्या त्यस्तो style of training चाहिँ.
Oh, it does, it does,
Yeah,
it
so like
does.
you're constantly doing the same thing and same thing and same thing and same thing and it over time it adds up a lot.
Adds up. I mean, that is the way to go. This is pretty much, when I sort of started off. So that is why you need to have a lot of patience in this game as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
started off, I would just want to come in there, if it was a deadlift day, just go heavy, 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 um, until you break something. Well, luckily nothing broke, but you just kept getting stronger. But then, I would have these very technical people or do it in this programming way, this program. It's so boring, man. It's so boring lifting lightweight. How can I come to the gym and lift lightweight, I need to
yeah,
go heavy, otherwise I won't be able to have a good night's sleep, sort of a thing.
yeah,
But yeah, like you said, that is the way to go. If you want to get into a professional competing level, I mean, you need to have all your patience. You need to
yeah,
tell the devil inside you to hold fire, slow down a bit. We'll get there
yeah.
eventually. And
Yeah,
that's how.
eventually even further. But I think at some times, say like the old school hardcore stuff, pani, it I think it should be a switch that you can turn on sometimes because sometimes you
Yeah,
have
I
to
think so
go
too. I
off
think,
program and just go crazy sometimes, right?
yeah. But then, mind you, I mean, I would do recommend that, but I wouldn't recommend that for everyone.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
most definitely not recommend it for a newbie, because
yeah,
you come in, you want to lift your, your max, say you break something and that's it, you're done for life. So
Yeah.
unless until you've done it for a period of longer period of time, all your what do you call body parts, or all your you've got strength, muscle in sort of all your body parts, sort of. I think that is where you can do these sort of experiments or these things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you just weak in the legs or upper body or back or arms, you start lifting heavy and you're bound to break something,
Mm.
injure yourself.
Yeah.
So that is no good. So, you just need to make sure that you've had that bit of, I would say, if you're dedicated probably 7, 8 months of good form with all your strengths, you've learned everything, how to do
Yeah.
perfectly, then you can, do all sorts of silly things. Um, and then again, it breaks, there's not much you can do about it.
So talking about all these things, तपाईँले you help not only me, म त अब सुरुमै भइहाल्यो, but I think other people to get into powerlifting, and then you've taught them technique and get the correct mindset to lift more. And I think one I remember is Funsok, obviously. So
Yes,
so you
yes.
helped Funsok to get into powerlifting as well, and then Funsok Pani, he has like a crazy mindset. I'm not sure if you've worked out with him like how we did it before, but Funsok also started training with you initially, right?
Yes, yes, that's correct. I mean, I basically, when I would be at the gyms, I would get approached by, well, on one instance, I got approached by him. Hey, you lift this sort of a heavy, how do you get into it? So, I mean, everyone is curious. At the end of the day, when you're in the gym, well, you want to get fitter, but then you're in the gym, when you see the weights, what does it mean? What does it mean? It basically means that you want to lift heavier, right?
Yeah,
Of course, you want to get stronger and fitter, those things, but you want to lift heavier. And then, when you see someone lifting heavy, you want to ask them, hey, how long? The first question people ask is, how long have you been doing it for? And then how do you get there? What is the base things to do? Look on all those things. So Funso, being, he was very curious about it as well. So that is where he got and asked me a few things, and I helped him, do this, do that, sort of a thing. I would, wherever I go, wherever I would go to any gym, people would ask me questions, and I'm more than happy to, answer. Uh, be good, if they become stronger uh, after some time. It's sort of, gets me on a better side as well. Okay, well, I did what I could, and just because of that, it's helped them a little, not too much, but a little. So just suggesting someone or being friendly doesn't hurt.
yeah. So Funsok Pani, he eventually went on to become a champion,
Yes, yes.
U83. So yeah, Funsok Pani, he has like a crazy mindset, like
Yeah,
not.
I can see that on his Instagram stories,
Yeah, like crazy
Brilliant.
shit. He's gonna fight it till something breaks.
I
He-
know. Well, that is where I'm scared and what. Well, he's probably broken something at one stage,
yeah,
but then mind you, this sport is you do get a lot of injuries.
yeah,
I mean, if you're careful, well and good. But then there are times when just like that one little split second or that one little mistake, which put you in for good. There's not much you can do about it, right? If it happens, it happens.
yeah. So yeah, Teta. So this is everything in the past, but how have things been at the present? Are you still training? Ki, like you go into.
Yeah, I'm still training hardcore. Nothing has changed. The only difference is I've cut down on my weight.
Mm-hmm.
That's just because I felt the need to, lose out, shred out a little pounds, and muscle wise, I do not see huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, well, the major difference is my arms used to be, I think, 19.5, and now they are 18.75 or just around
Oh
19. So not
shit.
a huge difference, but still in there, putting in the hard yards, making sure the strength is there, still squatting, deadlift, bench press, everything that there is. I
Yeah.
mean, you see, you cannot be so much stuck with your numbers all your life.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
cannot
true.
be so much stuck with your bicep size or your chest size all your life. But what you should really be focusing on is I've got to go in there, I've got to lift, irrespective of anything. This is It's not a passion or thing. This is just something which I do,
Mm-hmm.
and you just gotta go in there and have fun with your training, and everything comes along. You get your
Yeah.
size, you get your strength. So,
Yeah.
but if you think or now I was this size, now it's decreased, my strength has decreased, you feel demotivated. That is just useless. Well, that is wrong, not useless, but that's wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
which basically means that you don't have a gym mindset. You initially don't have a mindset of being there. You're just in there for different
Yeah.
passions, not the right reasons.
Yeah. Oh, this is also very very true. I think, and it goes on to do with everything in life, right?
Oh,
Or
yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
put your heart and soul into everything you do, and you
Yeah.
just make it happen. You just make it happen. There's
Yeah.
no half-heartedness sort of a thing behind,
Yeah, I
things you have
remember
to
I
do.
remember this one time we went to a gym, Sushant Pradhan's gym, and then our goal was to add 1 inch to our arms that very day.
In that one particular workout, right?
Yeah, I think I was probably like what 15 or 16 at the time, like arm size, and then you were
Yeah, yeah,
already at
yeah,
19 or something, and then you would want to get to 20, and then I
yeah,
would probably gonna get to
exactly.
16 or something, and then we did
Yeah,
that, right?
I mean, we would lift really heavy on arms as well. Bicep curls as
Like
heavy as
40
you want.
kgs, 40 kgs, max dump.
True, 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 true. Yeah, yeah.
And then do some dips, and then the what do you say, hammer curl hold matre ke यसरी hold matre गर्ने वाला.
Yes, hold it for quite some time.
Yeah,
What do we call those isometrics or iso holds?
yeah.
Those sort of things.
ठ्याक्क
So
तपाईँलाई
pretty much tried all the techniques, all the ways, how we can get stronger and bigger as well at the same
just
time.
push mentally. Like people who are listening to this must be thinking like, what the hell are these guys talking about? Just like it all. But it was crazy. It was crazy times. To talk
Yeah,
about
it's crazy time.
yeah, crazy times. And like I don't think anybody trains that way or even does close, because I see some guys in Barbell Nepal doing some crazy shit, but and then I don't judge them like because they're not doing what half the crazy shit that we've done.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
we
I mean,
would
I was pretty much used to it from New Zealand. I mean, I had used to have a couple of buddies,
yeah,
in the gym. We would start training. We start our training at I think 10 p.m. at night.
yeah.
No, 9 p.m. Around 9 p.m. at night. We
Hmm.
would train up to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And if we get very hungry, we might just go to a McDonald's drive-through, grab ourselves a burger, then come back and start lifting again. So I was pretty much used to it. I mean, I was just very passionate. I never had work where I had to work less than say 10 to 11 hours. So I would finish my work schedule for 10, 11 hours, come home, have some family time, have a little meal, go to the gym, train for these many hours, come back. Well, less sleep, which is not good. I don't recommend it, but I was okay with it. My body got used to it. Uh, and yeah, that is how it was.
Yeah. Only like people, I think now people associate you more with J89 than with fitness, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
just
because
that.
for me, like I know everything that you're doing because like I see it on social media and we're meeting up and all those things. But मलाई चाहिँ ज्याक्दै भनेपछि त्यो ओल्ड वाला पावर लिफ्टर हुन्छ नि, ओल्ड स्कुल हार्ड कोर पावर लिफ्टिङ नै आउँछ क्या मेरो दिमागमा. But let's talk
Yeah.
a little bit about other things that you do, more of the other things that you do. So yeah, where should we start? J89, like how were you always into the field, or like how did it start, and then
Yeah, I mean, I see during my work stints, I did tons of different lines of work. I started off my career with being a cadet at a New Zealand Army, and then worked into different professions. I
yeah.
even learned cooking. I started my own restaurant. Then I got into
Oh
logistics,
yeah.
which is when I was in trucking, and different sort of things. And then during my work sort of a career, one of the things was. I had contracted my vehicles or my logistical operations to breweries, which would produce beer, and I would see the amount of alcohol which used to go out of the of the beauties, and we would be short of trucks to provide them enough, sort of logistical help. And that is where I ventured out into, learning more about alcohol. So I did a little course in alcohol technology, learned blending, how to make, how to do things. And then that is when I moved back to Nepal, which has been, I think, probably 5 years back, I would say. And then, started off something of my own, got me a license, made a building factory, and then, got into making alcohol, pulled out some brands. So J9 being the first one. So we have pretty much, the fourth one is getting launched this week. So making a portfolio of brands and mainly focusing into premium brands, because you see alcohol is can be a good thing, can be a bad thing as well. So morally as well, you don't want to provide something to people which would damage their health, sort of a thing. So that
Yeah.
is why I believe in making alcohol, which is just high quality, premium, which you can have fun with, enjoy, and not feel any harmful effects of.
Yeah. So मलाई चाहिँ like I have no like because I don't drink and
I know.
all
I've
those
tried a lot
things.
of times. I've tried a lot of times.
Yeah, and then like you have like so many like you know ins and out so well. Like I can see it. I don't understand it, but I can see the amount of passion you have, and then you're making us smell, and then this one's different. This one should smell sort of like this, and this one is like I don't know a very expensive one, and then this one should smell a certain way, and I'm like oh.
Yes.
Maybe I can tell, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you just pretending to tell, yeah.
Yeah, sort of. Any I still I remembered like J89 on the like Suruma we had come to Birkanj as well for your
That's
launch.
correct.
It was quite an experience.
Oh yeah, a lot of experience over there.
Oh shit. Dai, do you have anything to talk about or want to add on towards the end of the podcast?
Well, nothing in general as such, but then if it is all about, since we are talking more about sports, but yeah, I mean, sports is definitely something which states how you do in life as well. It does have a strong effect to your, I would say, personal life, about your business life, work life, anything. It's that mentality of just keep trying, sort of a thing. At the end of the day, most of the things do happen, but you just got to be very mentally strong for it.
Yeah.
uh, the word which they normally use is not giving up. Yes, it's probably a little overused as well, but then you don't even have to think about the word as such. It's not about giving up. It's about you just keep going. You just keep going. Don't think about giving up or not, but just keep going no matter what, the times are, sort of a thing. And you get there. You get there. Even if you don't get there, at least, you've tried your best, sort of a thing. So never, feel shy of giving it your 100%. And number two is heart and soul to whatever you do. You either don't take up anything, but if you've taken up any task, sort of a thing, you start it and you finish it, and make sure it is well executed and well done, sort of a thing. Just put in
Yeah.
your heart and soul into it.
I remember this one thing you said. अहिले कुरा गर्दा गर्दा I'm remembering so many things. You said at one point, like I don't know what sort of a conversation we were having, but then you said something around the lines of think of yourself as you are the best at what you're doing, sort of a thing, right? So if you aren't doing something great, let's say you're a dishwasher or something, and then
Yeah,
you would
I
be
still
like,
believe in that.
yeah, and then you would say like if you believe that you are the best dishwasher that there is and there isn't anybody who can do this number of dishes per minute, then you are so motivated to do it, or like you feel like you're actually doing it, sort of a thing. Do you remember this?
Exactly. I mean, which does make sense. I mean, yes, money is very important, the most important thing. But then, there is somewhere along the line where you sort of judge yourself who you are. You're not just a person who's just gonna bring in all the money and make all the money. You've got to feel proud about what you're doing. I put my hand to it. Your name is onto it. I've got to do everything to make this thing happen. Whatever job is given to you, like I just said, your dishwasher, or if we can say, you are someone who's responsible for, driving a vehicle, you've got to be the best driver around. No one else can. I mean, you're not going to say to yourself you're the best as in pride wise, but you've got to be very humble and say, I've got to do it in the best possible way so that no one can say that, I wasn't all that good, sort of a thing. So you've got to hold pride in whatever you take up, you do, sort of a thing. That is a core, which probably is not so easy on you on a personal level because you just don't know when to stop. But you
Yeah.
just need to hold fast to
Yeah.
that.
And Jack, they're one of the hardest, I think the hardest working person I've seen. You're sleeping for 2 hours and then you're in Delhi and then you're another 5 minutes by another day you're already driving to Birganj or something and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
tomorrow morning for a meeting in Kathmandu, something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, that is what I enjoy doing as well. I don't see it as work, or someone is pushing me for it, or I have to be pushed into it. I just feel at it as is something which I'm born to do or meant to do, and just take it as that. But if you think you need a little bit of a motivation or you need a real reason behind it, that'd be very difficult to do.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
But
You've
are
got to
there
be.
like times when you're like, it's getting too much sort of a thing, or it never happens to you? Like
Uh,
burnt out sort of a feeling, like you just want to take a holiday? Because I've never seen you really, like maybe you do,
no,
but you,
it's to be honest, it's pretty much opposite for me. You send
yeah.
me on a holiday, and I'll come back after 2 days. I'll tell the person whoever is arranging my holiday, hey, you keep all my money, you just let me go back to work. So holidays are actually a very difficult thing. What do you do? How much nature do you look at? What else do you see? I think it's your daily routine or daily things which you. I mean, for me, I'm not just saying everyone's got to be this. But for me, this is just working, doing things is what sort of keeps me going, and I love doing it. I like doing it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought of anything different. Yes, but like you mentioned, there are when you do get a little tired, this and that, you still don't take a break. You just have a good night's sleep. Instead of 2 hours, you sleep 6 hours. Next day,
And then you're ready for another day.
another day, more challenges, more things, more decisions, more activities, and that's the fun of it. That's the fun of
Yeah,
it.
crazy. And like with fitness, business, and also family, I met Nihal, right?
Yeah, yeah, Niyal, he's a big boy. He plays rugby now.
Yeah. How,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
how's everything with him and
Yeah,
everything?
he's good. He's almost 11 now. Um, good boy, very good boy. He does he's got a YouTube channel with
Yeah.
gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
yeah.
into gaming.
He is still making videos.
Yeah, so he did the first one. He sort of got demotivated with that, and he took a break for 6, 7 months, and now he's back into action. So he plays
Oh.
games like Minecraft, which I've learned as well. So he makes all those videos, and then he plays rugby. He goes to his school. He's coming off the age when he's not very far from the teenager sort of a thing, and those are hard times, man. They're gonna be,
Yeah.
it's all
Oh.
about this, that, priorities, things, but which is fun. I mean, at the
So
end of
you
the day.
you got an editor for him, right, to make his gaming videos?
Yeah, yeah. So when he was in Nepal, I had pretty much set up an entire studio, like a green background, the proper photographer people, videographers, editors, all professionally done sort of a thing. So which was quite good. So I mean, in the screen you would see him in the corner giving all that narration, and the video game would just happen on the screen. So.
But now he does it by himself, or
Oh, he's got all that technology. He's got was that camera called which goes under action thing, action camera,
uh-huh.
yeah. And various different tools. So he knows how to do it now. So
Yeah. I think when you had invited me for his, I don't know, seventh, eighth, or ninth birthday or something.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
Time passes really,
time
really
passes. I
shit.
know, I know.
Yeah, we've
I just hope he gets into powerlifting, as well. I mean, he likes to be strong. He likes to
yeah,
be strong, but
yeah,
yeah, probably not the right time. Just
yeah, too
venture out
young.
in
Too
open
young,
sports.
right? Too young
Too
right
young,
now.
too young. I
Yeah,
mean, sports like rugby and soccer is basically what they should be playing at this
yeah,
stage.
exactly.
Maybe a little later on, they will decide for themselves what they want to take up. There's no
Mm.
hard and fast sort of a rule. There's no hard and fast sort of a rule that everyone's got to become strong or powerlifter.
Yeah, yeah, for
You have
sure.
to do whatever you feel like as long
Yeah,
as you can do it.
yeah. Just do the right things. Just
Just
do
do the
more. Just do more right things than wrong. Right.
Well, try to.
Yeah.
Trial and error. You try to think you're doing the right thing, but it could end up
Some.
in a little bit of a
Yeah,
mess.
exactly.
You can't help it either. You just gotta
Yeah.
go sort of.
It was such an amazing time, Jagdai. We talked
Yeah, it's
about
amazing time.
we talked about old times and a little bit, but yeah, Dai, thank you so much for being on. It's a pleasure to have you. Take out your valuable time for us and share your thoughts, experience. I had a blast, like just talking about stuff and recreating old memories as well.
Yeah, and I had a really good time as well talking to you. All those events which you still remember. It's probably very old, starting from when we first met at Palm, and maybe
Yeah,
the conversations before that.
yeah.
The event itself was quite eventful, I would say.
Yeah,
Things
it's
we
been
did
a
there.
yeah, it's been a really long time, Neem, because we met around 2015,
2015, yes,
and then
that's
it's
right.
7 years already. So
Yeah, that is where it all started,
it's
right?
been a long time.
Yeah, and that
Ah,
is how it's going to be in the future as well. And nothing changes, nothing changed. You just gotta keep carrying on one after the other.
yeah, and
And
then
it's always and what it really does give me pleasure is to see you grow so much. Unbelievably, 200%. For
yeah,
looking at day one till now, so you've done really
yeah,
amazing in life. One thing which I really liked about you, which you do not get to see every day, is that you had your mind over matter sort of a thing.
hmm,
You knew who you were, you knew what you wanted to do at such a young age. At a
yeah,
younger age, people would experiment or this or that. But you already had this mindset sort of a thing. Even though I put you through a lot of hardship, with all the training, but you
yeah,
never gave up. You
yeah,
were there. You were the last man standing till the end.
yeah. I never,
Those, I mean, because I've trained so many guys, trained with a lot
yeah,
of people, and a lot of people would give up. They
yeah,
would say, "Oh, I'm not training with Jag again, or I'm giving up on the sport. It's a horrible sport. And a
yeah,
lot of people are too worried about injuries, this and that. But you
yeah,
went an extra mile like a soldier. You just
yeah.
hold the fort sort of a thing. So that is amazing. And the best thing is that you've done so well in life. So yeah, now very well done. Congrats for that.
Thank you, Dai. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'll cut the podcast here. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.